Hi, I'm Peg from Sony, and I'm going to show you some of the common symptoms that may indicate a malware infection on your VAIO PC. First, what is malware? Malware is a blanket term used to identify any kind of unwanted or destructive file or program that might find its way onto your computer. The term malware applies to viruses, internet worms, Trojan horse programs, keyloggers, and password or credit card stealing programs. Most of us have heard some of the classic symptoms of malware activity on a PC: slow performance, slow to boot up, multiple pop-up windows, or error messages that won't go away. But these symptoms can be caused by a number of things besides malware. So how can you tell if your computer has become infected? One example of unwanted activity on a PC is a pop-up window or message that appears, which informs the user that a computer virus or malware application has infected the PC, and indicates the user should enter a credit card number into a box provided or click a link to a website to enter a credit card number in order to purchase the antivirus application to get rid of the virus. This is a common method used by hackers to obtain credit card numbers. Every PC should be protected by an anti-malware application, and there are many trusted anti-malware providers, such as Kaspersky and Norton. If you have an anti-malware program protecting your PC, it should alert you to the presence of malware, usually with a pop-up message. But this message will be labeled with the name of your application. As an example, look at this alert message generated by Kaspersky Antivirus 2011. This message is clearly labeled with the name of the application. If you have Kaspersky installed to protect the PC from malware, this would be what you would expect to see when the program is doing its job. This message recommends selecting the action to move the infected file to quarantine, where it can't interfere with anything else. Now look at this pop-up message. If you have Kaspersky Antivirus installed, this pop-up would be very suspicious. It is not labeled with a Kaspersky name or logo, so it does not appear to be a message coming from the Kaspersky program. Some of these fake virus alerts applications are designed to look like Microsoft security pop-up windows, but they usually are not labeled with the Microsoft Windows name or logo. Even more suspicious, this pop-up advises that you must register online in order to get help with removing the infections, which the pop-up claims have been found on your PC. But it is not clear that this is a message coming from a legitimate program. The pop-up appears to be generic. This is typical of malware. So what should you do with a pop-up like this? First, be familiar with the anti-malware security application you currently have on your PC. Sony ships VAIO PCs with a working trial version of either Kaspersky or Norton security software. If you see a pop-up informing you of security risks and the pop-up is not identified by name and doesn't match the name of the security software you use, then don't click on the suspicious pop-up message. Instead, just run a security scan using the security software already installed on your VAIO PC. Of course, you should always be suspicious of any message or window that pops up on your PC asking for personal information or asking you to install a program, especially if you didn't initiate a request for a product or service. Most of us feel safe in giving personal information, name, phone number, or even credit card numbers to someone over the phone when we are calling a company to request a product or service, but only when we call the company and know who we are talking to. If we get a call from an unknown person who immediately asks for personal information, for instance, a caller who says, "Who is this?" it instantly is suspicious, since you have no idea who the caller is or where the call is coming from. The same is true of pop-up messages on your PC. Another common behavior of malware is to suddenly change the home page of your browser. The home page is the site that comes up automatically when you first open the browser window. If you are used to seeing a particular website appear when you first open your browser, and your browser suddenly starts opening up to a different website, this is evidence of a malware infection. The first thing you should do if you suspect malware is to disconnect your PC from the internet. Open the security software you are using on the PC and then run a full scan of your PC to detect and remove malware before reconnecting to the internet. I hope you've enjoyed this video.